Welcome back to Raceweek Illustrated Garage Talk. The votes are in and have been tallied, and on Saturday, the class of 2013 inductees to the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame were announced during the Hall of Fame's 4th annual Memorial Day celebration. Our cameras were there for the announcement. And before I open this, I just want you to let you know only 4 people know the names that are in these envelopes. 4 people on the planet know about these, so it's that fresh. Our first member of the 2013 class of inductees into the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame raced on the short tracks and won and competed heavily on the big super speedways. Our first inductee is Charles Barrett. I hate that your dad couldn't be here with us, but I'm glad that you are. Tell me how it feels to know your dad's going in the Hall of Fame.
I'll tell you what, we're just so honored just to even think that he'd be considered along with these great names, and to know that he's one of the top 5, and I'm just sure he'll be so honored and so excited when I call him, and I just wished he could have been here, but we'll rag him about it till we get him over here in December.
That's okay. You see, that's the thing. We're going to stay on top of him, because I'm okay with him missing today. He misses the banquet, we're going to have a problem.
He'll be here.
All right, Mitchell.
We just want to thank you, and we want to recognize all the veterans. And again, Dad wanted me to apologize. He wanted to be here, but he didn't realize, and neither did I, that this was coming up. And I'm sure he'd be so disappointed he wasn't here. So I'll give him a call, and I'm sure he'll be ecstatic.
You catch me. I want to hear what he had to say.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Barrett. Ladies and gentlemen, our second member of the class of 2013 was a pioneer car owner, helped several people get their start, helped several people get their win, and was one of the people instrumental in getting the sport started. Our second member of the class of 2013 is Frank Christian. You've been singing his praises for years. He started this whole NASCAR thing down here in the river bottoms of the Etowah River. Tell me about Frank Christian.
Well, I tell this story over and over about this is the birthplace of stock car racing. It started down in the river bottoms down here. A bunch of the big liquor guys would meet down there on Sunday evening and to brag and bet on who had the best drivers. And the word kind of leaked out, and people started showing up. But Frank Christian seen dollar signs in that. He went to Atlanta and rented a horse racetrack at Lakewood Fairground. That was your first organized stock car racing here in Georgia. The very first race, Lord C. from Dawsonville won. The next Sunday, Roy Hall from Dawsonville. Then came Gober Soulsby. And this bunch pretty well dominated because they already had, like Red Boat was building the engines for the liquor cars, which came on and was your first super mechanic in NASCAR. They didn't go to Daytona till 1940, I believe. But in the decade of the 40s, down on the old beach course, they ran 15 races in that time period. 12 of them was won by people from Dawsonville. So I use Frank Christian to say that we are the birthplace of stock car racing here in Dawsonville, Georgia.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gordon. And from a historical standpoint, I just want to point out this is the first husband and wife to be in the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame, as Frank's wife and his former driver, Sarah Christian, was inducted a few years back. So folks, let's hear it one more time for Frank Christian. Now let's get to our third inductee. Ladies and gentlemen, our third member of the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame class of 2013 was certainly a trailblazer. And you might want to put your fingers in your ears because this is about to get loud. Our next member of the class of 2013 is Huston Platt. Come on up, Rocky. Rocky, we've talked several times about getting your dad in, and you worked to strengthen his biography a little bit as we went forward. And I remember I called you a few days ago and said, you know, can you be there? Can you be there? And you said, well, I got this and I got that. And I don't know if he's going to go in, but yeah, I'll be there. I'm glad you moved your schedule, partner. How's it feel that your dad's going in?
You know, I wish he was here to accept it. He loved drag racing. You know, and like I said, it ended early. He just didn't have the heart for it anymore. But once man over he did that car, he got his heart back in it. And then he developed dementia, and he's a very smart man, and couldn't go to places that we were going and stuff and showing the car. But when that car came back, and being here in the state of Georgia, we went in the East Coast Hall of Fame back in 2009, and he had to miss that too because of health issues, and I had to accept that for him. Accepting this in the state of Georgia, where we grew up, we in our home, it's very special.
I remember the first time that I met your dad. It was you had the car was on display at the Southern Nationals at the Atlanta Dragway. I was there covering it, and just happened to walk up on it, and I was there when the car fired up, and just that twinkle and that light that came on in his eyes when that car fired up, it was terrific.
One of the best moments back in 2010, I believe it was, we had Henderson, North Carolina, and he got in the car and started up, and it was probably 35, 40 people standing around. It must have been 500 or 600 people standing around when that car started, him sitting in it, and it was unbelievable. And I reached in, and he says, "Son, I'm at home." And it was I'll never forget that, because that was just, you know, a couple of years ago. And so it was him to get back in the car. He hadn't been back in the car since the early 70s. And to get back in that race car and crank it up, it's very special. And I tell you, moments like this, the Georgia Hall of Fame, Uncle Hubert's in here too. And, you know, them two being in here together, that's something that'll never go away. It'll always be here. So it's special for me and my family, my boys, everybody. And we appreciate it.
We appreciate you, and congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Huston Platt. Our fourth member of the class of 2013 was himself a trailblazer. Our fourth member of the class of 2013 is Mr. Hank Blalock. Come on. Oh, I got to hug you. Come here. Bless your heart. Tell me, how does it feel after all these years?
Well, I know that Hank is in heaven, and he's grateful and honored to be nominated.
When we came down and we interviewed you and we talked about Hank's life and everything, tell me what kind of a person Hank was.
He was a real honest, charitable person. He was a wonderful husband, father, and he loved racing. And I couldn't ask for a better person.
Well, I want to thank you for letting us come down and sharing your stories with him, and I'm so proud to be able to tell you today that from here on, he is a member of the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Well, I know he's proud. Thank you.
Thank you. Dwayne? Thank you very much. Dwayne, same question I just asked her. How does it feel?
It feels fabulous. You know, this is a stock cars. My dad did race stock cars some too, so don't think he just did midgets. He did some sprints. He did some other forms of racing. He loved all racing, just like my mother told a story other day. Frank Lupto came and spent the night at our house, and Dad went to the Lakewood Speedway with him to help him out in the pits. And Frank Lupto flipped and was killed at Lakewood. My dad, he had spent the night in my house. My mother had fed him breakfast that morning. So any racers that came to town, they needed a place to stay. They could stay at our house, and Dad just loved all. And I admire my life. I've always admired all you racers and racer. You know, anybody involved in racing has always been my #1 sport. But thank you. This is an honor. It's just beyond words. Thank you.
Dwayne, thank you. Thank y'all so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Hank Blalock. the fifth member of the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame, class of 2013, one of the all-time winningest drivers in the Southeast, Mr. Freddy Fryar. Freddie was supposed to be here today. He must have got caught up somewhere, and we will certainly get on to him for that. But I do know he went last year into the Alabama Auto Racing Pioneers Hall of Fame over in Talladega, and he was asking us then, you know, do I have any chance of going in the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame? That one's very important to me. So come December 13th, he'll get his chance, just as he did down at Talladega, to tell us how important it is and how much the state of Georgia has meant to him. But we'll share that with him. So, folks, let's hear it one more time for Freddy Fryar. And all of our class of 2013, congratulations again to our 5 inductees. And we look so forward to honoring you in December. Again, the banquet this year has been moved. The date has been moved. It'll still be here at the Hall of Fame, but it will be on December 13th, right here at the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame. We will be pre-selling tickets beginning today. If you see Mr. Bell back there in the red shirt, you can pre-order your tickets for the 2013 induction banquet, and you can also go ahead and purchase your new Georgia Racing Hall of Fame t-shirt, which we showed you earlier. Folks, thanks to each and every one of you for coming and being a part of this today. You're why we're here, and thank you for letting us take a moment to honor all of you. We hope that you have a terrific Memorial Day weekend, and please come be with us at the banquet. The banquet is so much. There's so much we do there. If you haven't been, we honor so many of our people, and we'd love to have you come be a part of it. So thank you again for being here with us. Have a great day, and we'll see you in December. Thank you. The 2013 induction banquet will be held on Friday, December 13th at the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame in Dawsonville, Georgia. For more info, visit their website at georgiaracinghof.com. Time for us to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at racing action from around the region. You're watching Raceweek Illustrated Garage Talk. We'll be right back.